who is new for MongoDB and want to learn MongoDB and their all basic command with hands-on, this video is perfectly fine for you. Welcome to Vinod Suman Academy. Please subscribe my channel. It motivates me a lot to further create many videos on many technologies. I promise you, you will have very good understanding and hands-on after watching all the MongoDB's video. Let us start. So, what we are going to learn in this video? So, I will be explaining what is MongoDB, how MongoDB is different from other RDBMS, Relational Database Management System, how to install the MongoDB, how to start the server and the client, and all the basic command, how to insert the data, how to modify data, how to fetch the data and aggregation, and many more. Let me first explain what is the MongoDB. MongoDB is a non-SQL database, is the document-oriented database, and it is used for the very high volume data storage. Last few years, data around the world increasing drastically in the way of the non-relational database and also called the non-SQL. Then it was required to some technology who can manage this kind of non-structured data in very effective way. So MongoDB come in the picture. It offers dynamic, flexible schema, and it has been designed for the high availability and scalability with built-in replication and the auto shading. So as we know, in the RDBMS we have the schema, table, row, column, but those are nothing there in MongoDB concept. This is only the document based database, and there is no fixed schema, there is no schema. That's why it is called the non-SQL database. There are many features for the MongoDB, such as index support, replication, multiple server, auto shading, document oriented database, and many more. I'm not going to detail on this because the motto of this video to give the hands-on on the different command. So let us move further. Before jump into the MongoDB, let me spend some time to understand how the MongoDB is different from RDBMS. So if you have little bit idea of the RDBMS, we used to have the database in the RDBMS, but the same terminology database in the MongoDB also. The table in the RDMS is the equivalent terminology is collection in MongoDB. When you see the row in RDBMS, we have the document in the MongoDB. When you see the column in RDBMS, equivalent we have field. For the join, we have embedded document, and for the primary key, we have the default underscore key. So these are the basic difference between RDBMS and MongoDB. Now let us see how to install the MongoDB. So first you have to go the website mongodb.com. Here you click on the software, then community server. When you click on the community server, it will show you the download page, but before that download you have to choose which OS you want to install. If you have the Windows, then go the Windows, or if you have the Mac OS, then select the Mac OS and then click the button on download. So once you download, then you have to set the class path in Windows operating system. But if you have the Linux or the Mac OS, then you have to go the bash profile and you have to set the class path of the MongoDB. Now the architecture of MongoDB, it has the one server and one the client. So first you have to start the MongoDB server. How to install? So if you have the Mac OS, you can just open one terminal, or if you have Windows operating system, just open the DOS Windows. And here what you have to do, you have to just use the command mongod, that is mongo daemon, and click it. And you can see now my server has been started. So now you minimize this terminal and you have opened one new terminal. Both are similar in Windows and Mac OS. Let me just increase the font, and here you have to put the command just mongo. Let me minimize the first terminal, and now we have the mongo terminal. So the same thing I have explained, you have to execute the two commands mongod and the mongo into different terminal. Once you get the successfully executed this command, then let us start today's session or the basic command on MongoDB. So if you have a little bit idea for the RDBMS, we use first create a database in RDBMS, right? So we used to give the command create database name, but here instead of that you have to use the use database name. So now let me clear the screen. Okay, so suppose I have to make one database exam, so I will just say exam. This is my database name. Now you can see the message switch to the database exam, so means exam database has been created. Now if you want to show how many databases are there, so you have to command show DBS. It will take some few minutes to show the exam in database. So these are already I have already created this database, or some database comes inbuilt with installation. So these are the two important command. Now as I said that when you create the table in RDBMS, you used to write the command create table name and the column name, right? Column name and the data type, and this is called the fixed schema. Means once you create the table, you can't change the schema. You have to obey the schema what you have created during creation of the table in RDBMS. But that is not a such case in the non-SQL. We don't have any fixed schema. So this is a big difference. Please try to understand. When we create the table in RDMS, you have to give all the information, column name, data type, everything. But when you create the table called is correction in MongoDB, it doesn't require any schema. It doesn't require any schema. Just you have to say the table name. As I said, this is non-SQL, so we can insert any kind of data. That's why there is no required of schema while creation of table. So just we give the create correction and you can give the table name. So suppose my table name is book. So you can give db.create correction book. So let me give the command. So now let me see whether this db showing or not. It is not showing. So now let me create the db dot create correction book. Now it is showing. Now you can see after creating the table, now this database name exam is showing. So now if you want to see in this database, as I said, how many tables are there, corrections are there, for that we have the command. So it is showing we have only one table, that is the just we made the table name of the book. Move to the next information. So how to insert the data in MongoDB database. So if you have knowledge for RDBMS, how you used to put the data, we have to insert into database, insert into table name and the values. And again, I'm repeating, you have to follow the schema in RDBMS. Okay, but the case of MongoDB, no need to follow anything. So just let me put one data in RDBMS. So go to the console. Let me clean the console and put the command db books insert, and I have given the two column. One is the ID and title, but again I do repeat, we have not given this information while creating the collection. So insert the data. So now you can see the output, one data has been inserted. And let me insert one more data with one more extra column. So here you can see we have only two column, ID and title, but the next record in the same collection I am giving the three column, and see how it works. So this is the beauty of the non-SQL database. We do not have to obey the schema, right? So let me go the database and I insert the DB book, now ID to title and review. So I have one extra column here, and it works. And it is not possible in the RDBMS, because in RDBMS we have the fixed schema. In non-SQL there is no fixed schema. It is only the key value pair it works. The next thing it says, we can also insert the data in bulk. So let me insert the data, 3-4 more data. So let me insert. I have just pasted the command and I'm pasting here. So I'm inserting ID 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can see we have a different kind of. We have the title, we have tag, we have review, and some other data we don't have the title, we don't have the review. Mixed kind of data I'm going to insert. And you insert, it is saying that the total number of insertion is 6, so it was successfully. So we insert the bulk data also. Now how to fetch the data, important thing. How we used to do in RDBMS, we used to do select asterisk from table name, but here we have to use the db books and find. Let me use this command. Let me clean the screen. So db books and just find. You can see all the data here, whatever data we have inserted. Let me increase the screen so you can see that. Okay, so these are the data we had inserted now. But if you want to see, suppose I want to see only two data, so how is to do in the RDBMS? Select asterisk from table, used to use the remit keyword, and the same remit keyword is here in MongoDB also. So the same command, put the 3, so it will show just 3 data. Okay, and one more important command is there, the pretty. So if you see how it is not very good format, right? So you use the pretty command, it will work very nicely. So let me just show the one data, then it might be easy. And do, so it will show in the JSON format. So you can see one data or two data, it will show in the JSON format. So here you can see one record we have the only ID and title, and one record we have the ID, title and review. This ID underscore ID is act as a primary key, and it been generated by MongoDB itself. This is not our data. Our data is the ID and title. So you can see we have the two record, but records are the different because this is the non-SQL database. And now third thing, if you want to the conditional, means I want to see only the data whose review is 5, so or whose ID is 3. So how used to do in our DBMS? We used to do select asterisk from table and put the where condition. But that is little bit different in MongoDB. We have the find. In find you have to put the condition. So we have to find, and now we have to put the condition inside the find. So you have to give which column you want to. I want to put the condition on ID column. So now only the ID3 data is showing. You can do the same thing in different way. Let me copy the command. So you can do ID equal to 3. This is another way. So both with the find. Why I use this kind of things? Because if you want to fetch all the data which is greater than 3, that you cannot do with the first one. So you have to use this one. Or you will say, so go, and instead of the equal, just put that greater than. So it will show all the ID which is greater than 3. Now you can see 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are the way we can fetch the data depend upon condition. So here what I say, all the data with the condition, but all the column. But if you are interested to see only 2 columns, suppose if you are interested to show the only the suppose title and the review column, so how you will see? In the find command, left blank for 1, I will tell you why, and you have to give the all the column name which you want to show. So I want to see title and review. What is the meaning for this one? 1 means show and 0 means non-show. I will explain you, but first let me execute this command. Now you can see we have the title, we have the review, but by default this ID is also comes. So how to not show the ID? So as I say, go and put I don't want to see this ID, put the 0. So now you can see we have only the title and the review. Of course in this document this review would not have been there, that's why it is not showing. So this is a way to show the selected columns, which columns you want to see. So as I explained that in the find there are the 2 parameter. One parameter whether you can give the clause, where clause means condition, fetch the data on condition basis, and this part which column you want to see, right? So I showed you if you give the ID 3, it will show all the record, all the column which ID is 3. And here I show if you give the title 1, it will show only the title column, but you can combine together. So suppose I want to see the all the data which is ID is greater than 3, and I want to see the ID and title. So if you give, let me clean the screen now. So see, in the first argument I have given all the ID greater than 3, and second argument I want to see only the ID and title. So execute this. So all the ID which is more than the 3 and the title, but of course this ID by default ID is coming. So as I explain you, you can also hide the ID. Now you can see that. So means the output of this all the ID greater than 3, but show only the title and the ID field. So this is how we can do that. Next video is the update video, how to update. So how you should do in RDBMS, update table name, set, and the where clause, right? But in MongoDB we have to do the DB books update, and there are the 3 parameter. One parameter give the condition, the same condition what you used to give here. So this part of the condition is come here, right? What you want to set means what you are setting here, you will be set here. And third is the multi-true. So thing is that if suppose you are given some condition and that condition satisfy more than one record, so if you give the multi-true, it all the record they will modify, but by default in the MongoDB it is 1. So even it satisfy the 5 record, but it will modify only the first record. So let me do this. So suppose see first, let me see the what is the data of the ID 3. So ID data is 3 and his review is 3. Let me change the review 3 to 4. So I execute the command. What I did in the first, I pass the ID 3, and second, which column, which things you want to update. So I want to update the review from 3 to 4. Now execute this, and it is also giving the message that modified one. And now you want to see the record from 3. You can see now review has been changed. It was the 3, now it has been the 4. And if you want to delete the data, so we have the few commands. So we have the two commands. One command is the remove command and the command is the delete many command. Both work in similar manner, only difference is between the return message. With the remove, it return the this information, and with the delete many, it could return the acknowledged true. So let me execute the both. So suppose I want to delete all the review who has the 5, right? So first let me clean the screen. So let me do the find command. So how many reviews? 5 are there, right? 1 review, 2, 3. Okay, now execute the command who will delete all the review record which rating is the 5. So this is the command. Okay, remove, we give the period name and the value. Now you execute, it's see the message, it remove the 3 data. So now if you do the find, okay, let me give in the screen. Now there is no any data with the review 3. And the similar way we can also execute the delete many commands. So as I explain you, it will delete the data which ID is equal to 3, but return type would be different. So return type is the true. Now if you see the find, ID 3 would not be there. So ID 3 is not there. In the next video we will see some more commands, and thank you very much. Please subscribe my channel and don't forget to watch the next video on MongoDB.